Hello everyone, you're watching SK Live. I'm your host Indranil Basu. Today we have Mr. Dinesh Karthik with us. Dinesh, can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can, sir.
Yeah, and good to see you and thanks for coming on SK Live.
Thank you so much. My pleasure.
No, you know you're still going so strong, and when I see you a decade later, when you were around, still at in 35 plus, going strong as ever. So what does it make to become a DK?
I think I've been lucky. My body's been good, and I've always constantly kept trying to raise the bar. So it's been good. I think I've been very lucky as well. Very blessed. A lot of people go through different types of small niggles. I think I've been very lucky that way.
But is it a real challenge when you're 30 on the higher side of 30 to keep yourself, to be fit, to be able to play at that level with that kind of intensity?
I think if you've been training consistently over a period of time, then your body is kind of used to it, and it adapts according to the rigors of how much you train and how much you play. But having said that, if you just start training when it's a little late, then the body takes that much more time.
Yeah, that it does. We are told about your when you started off, your dad also wanted to be a cricketer, and he couldn't probably balance it that well, the academics and the game. But he really created that environment around you so that you could really focus hard. So tell me about those younger days, how your dad was so useful in making what you are today.
Yes, when I was young, I went to Kuwait, but that's where my dad used to work. So he used to
Yes.
come and throw a lot of balls and help me practice. And he was somebody who tried hard at the sport. But I think my grandfather was very keen on him studying and becoming an engineer and getting a job. So he didn't encourage him that much. Whereas my dad had the opportunity to kind of live his dream through me. So he always never stopped me from playing the sport. He helped me through various stages of my career, and he was very supportive right from day one till today. He's been very supportive of my career.
Absolutely. And how do you look back at those 20 years, almost 20 years, 2 decades of domestic cricket, international
It's been
competitive
good. I
cricket?
think, yes, as I said, it's been amazing. I think, when I look back at it, which I tend not to too many times because, I just feel it's important to keep looking ahead and keep moving on. I think I've been very lucky, as I said. I'm very grateful. Not everybody who decide to play the sport can go on to, represent the country. I think I've been blessed and lucky in many ways, and I'm really happy about that.
And the way you started off, you of course batted so well. Uh, Keeping, did it come naturally to you? What was Kiran Modi's advice those days in your early growing years that you became you went and played at the highest level?
Yes, I think keeping happened by accident. Actually, I used to be a leg spinner. Then one practice game in our academy days, one of the keepers didn't turn up. So my coach just said, "Why don't you keep?" And I enjoyed keeping, and I just took it up after that, and I thoroughly enjoyed keeping to date. So I think it was a good decision by my coach, and I've also enjoyed it till now.
I mean, close to 10,000 runs, 28 hundreds, 43 50s. I mean, could you have asked for more? Could you ask for more? I mean, at this stage, do you want more?
No, I think I don't look at it that way. I'm not too obsessed with numbers per se. I've always been more interested in the number of tournaments we win and in the kind of performances I'm able to put up for the tournaments. I think I've always been far more involved in that direction. So these numbers, they're great. I'm happy. I mean, to be very honest, I don't know these numbers because I am not one to go back and review these numbers. I'm happy with these numbers. But more importantly, as I said, I'm happy I was able to represent my state and play for a certain amount of time. And make a lot of friends through this journey. And today I'm able to, pass on a little bit of whatever I know to the others and try and create a good environment for others to play as well.
It was quite commendable the way you led Tamil Nadu to the recent trophy, Syed Mushtaq Ali tournament. Superlative show. And does it have a lot to do with Dinesh Karthik being there with Tamil Nadu? It makes a lot of difference. We're seeing this sort of consistent form of Tamil Nadu. Whenever you play, it makes a lot of difference. Can you just tell us about that secret?
I think you're being very kind. I think the cricketers here, the young guys, extremely hungry. They all want to play IPL. They all want to play for the country. So they're very motivated. lovely set of guys. I think it's very unfair to say that because I'm the captain, they're doing well. I think a very talented bunch who are coming together as a team and putting up performances. Playing pretty consistent cricket. I think we've just started our journey in terms of playing some good white ball cricket, and I think we'd like to keep playing such cricket over a period of time so that we emerge as strong contenders for the title consistently, and also more importantly put up more people for the national team and keep pushing players to IPL as well.
No, but you really stand for is the way of giving back to the game, and you've been so consistent. You're a celebration, to tell you honestly. You're to be able to keep yourself motivated and to motivate a team like Tamil Nadu. Whenever you've played, they've done so well, and these are all not being fabricated. These are all written in bold letters. Whenever Dinesh Karthik is playing, there has to be something special going to happen to that team.
That's not entirely true, sir. I think there have been various. As I said, I've been very lucky. I think God has been kind to me because the kind of we are, the kind of boys that are there in the team, it makes my job really easy. I'm really honored to lead a bunch of guys like these. In between, I captain my franchisee KKR, which is like family to me. So I've thoroughly had some good moments. It's important that whatever sport you play, it's important to give back to others, and I've always believed in that, and I'm happy I'm able to in some way give back to a lot of the young guys who are starting out. At least try and make their journey as nice as it can be.
No. In fact, you're talking about KKR. When I remember when you're playing for Delhi franchisee, Mumbai, wherever you've gone there, you created that wave. You created that storm. You were always there, very special. Batting at number 4, 5, always was there to put your hand up for the team.
Thank you so much. Look, I think it's my job. I think that's what I'm required to do. Go out there and create a performance and try and help the team. I'm definitely trying to be consistent at that, and that's always been the goal for people like me. Try and be as consistent as we can over a period of time. So, as I said, you're being really kind to me. I'm happy to hear such things,
really.
but I'm not fun for I'm not great at receiving compliments. So, thank you so much. You're being very kind, but there's a long way to go for me as well. I have my goals set on various things, so try and achieve that one by one.
This is the special thing about you. You have a long way to go, and you have a goal. You set a goal. But talking about competition, I remember when MS Dhoni emerged in Indian cricket, he just killed the competition. He killed people like you, coming and doing the job for the country behind the stumps. But still, you were always in that competition. You batted well. You came back strong into the team. Whenever you were given an opportunity, you performed with dignity. That was, and you stayed around. You didn't, give up your job. You said, I won't. I mean, any sort of guy would have seen MS Dhoni the way he came, the power he had as a performer for India. But Dinesh Karthik, I have to really salute you the way you carried yourself all throughout. Keeping yourself motivated.
Look, I think I genuinely believe there is no cricketer who can stop another cricketer from trying to achieve what they want to achieve. If you're talented, if you have belief in your skill sets, you will always find a path, and God will open up avenues where you can always showcase your path. And the most important thing is accepting situations as they are and finding a way through the situation for you to achieve your goals. And I was trying to constantly do that. There was one MS Dhoni who came, who set the cricketing world ablaze, and hats off to him. I think he's a once in a generation cricketer. He's given so many good things for Indian cricket and for India as a country, as a country itself. So my job was to make sure I keep finding a place in the Indian team, and whenever I got a job to do, whenever I got an opportunity to do it, I try to do it to the best of my ability. So I'm very happy with where my career stands, and it's as simple as that, actually.
What did you admire most about MS Dhoni?
I think his ability to stay in the present is a very special one. I think he is one person who is constantly. I've noticed a lot in the present compared to a lot of other people. That is a trait that I've really admired in him over a period of time.
2013 Champions Trophy, you were around. I remember you were playing that was a tournament, last ICC tournament India won, and then we played the 2019 semi-final game against New Zealand, which we lost by 18 runs. You were also part of that team. Why do you think India is not able to crack that code, to win ICC tournaments? It's been 7 years. I mean, last, of course, was 2013. You were part of the team. You were part of the team last time we played at ICC tournament, 2019. So what exactly is going wrong? I mean, is it? Why do you think we have a good team? We have a good batting, bowling, fielding, young side, youth and experience. Everything is there, but somehow you're not able to crack the code.
I mean, there is no code to crack as such. When you play a tournament like that, I think the most important thing is the league phase, and the best that you can do is be, if you're a consistent team, more often than not, you will reach the knockout stage. And India as a country and India as a cricketing nation has always done that. I think in almost every tournament that we've played, we reach the knockout. In the knockout, they keep saying this, whatever happens on that one day. And unluckily, a lot of the times, the rub of the green has not gone away. Almost every ICC tournament, we have made it to the semi-finals. So, it could so happen that you have one bad day, and it so happens to be on that day. And I mean, you can't get too harsh about yourself and pinpoint a lot of wrong things. I think given the talent and the kind of players that we have, I'm sure it's only a matter of time, and it'll happen definitely.
My colleague Ajay is asking that you have what was going through your mind during last over of the Nidas Trophy in 2018, and what was the reaction of your teammates? That was really special.
Oh.
I mean,
no, it was great. I think very close to where you are right now. It was a great tournament. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was probably one of the most pleasurable days in my life, and I'm very happy. And whatever I tried that day came off. So it was just an awesome day.
So that day when you walked into bat, did you actually had that feeling you can go out there and conquer it all?
Yes, definitely. I think I've always had that belief whenever I go into a game. More often than not, I practice a lot for those situations. So I was very confident that I had it at the back of my mind that I can achieve it. So, I went out there and I was able to do it on that day. It doesn't happen every day though, but you need to have the belief.
Yeah, but did you get a good sleep at night? That night in Sri Lanka?
In fact, I didn't sleep that night at all because we traveled the next day at about 4 o'clock. So we just completely let loose and had a good time.
No, I mean you're someone. I mean, there are a lot of people like you in the Indian cricket setup who have played with several generations of cricketers. You have played with two generations of cricketers. You've seen the likes of Lakshman, Sachin Tendulkar, Rahul Dravid, and then you've seen the recent ones. So I mean, which generation do you really admire the most and still wish you were playing with them even now today?
I don't think you can compare. I'm never one for comparing, though I think both of them had some special moments through their careers. I think there's some great players in both the generations, and Indian cricket is a very special place right now. I think we are in a very dominating space as a cricketing nation as of today, and we can be really proud of that.
Yeah, I mean we are, and we are quite a force to reckon with. We saw in Australia, but does pressure put? I mean, does the expectations put pressure on your performance as a batsman, as a wicket keeper, as a leader? Does it happen to you, or you just let it
I
go?
think having expectations is very normal. I think only if you're good do people have expectations on you. So it's an honor and a privilege to have expectations. And as a sportsman, you learn to deal with it. I think that's one of the most important things that you learn to live with as a sportsman at a very young age. At any level, once you start playing well, there are always expectations of you to do well. At various levels, it just grows, and you learn to live with that. So it's a very normal thing for a sportsman to have.
So we look back at the expectation we had when we went to Australia, and we lost the first Test match, 36 all out, and the way it came, the way the entire team came back. I mean, what was going through your mind? You were, of course, you still follow the game when you're not playing. Also, the matches I know. So, what was your thought that time when we lost the Adelaide Test match, and then we played in Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane? So, and can you just wrap it up? What were your thoughts when you saw that team and the way they fought?
Look, I think when we entered the Test series. I think it was a very even-Steven game, considering the bowling attack we had and the extra couple of batsmen that were missing from the last series they had, and Steven Smith and David Warner. So I think we started on an even note, but I think to be fair, we got steamrolled on for 36, and it was just an aberration. To be fair, their batting was struggling throughout the series because they only managed to get 250 odd in both the innings that they played. It was just unlucky that we got rolled over, for 36 in that one inning, so it kind of stood out very badly. But I think I thought with Virat leaving the team, because he's one of the premier batsmen in the world, the team would obviously suffer one batsman down. But the way the other guys contributed and made such a massive contribution, I thought Ajinkya's 100 in Melbourne was probably one of the most important innings an Indian has played abroad, and that set the tone, and I think that set the belief for the rest of the team, and some special performances came about from then on.
Absolutely, and Rahane been talked about for not scoring. He did score in the in the second Test match in the first innings, and he's showing. They said he can't play spinners. He's not scoring against spinners. So when you hear such criticism against proven players, what do you tell yourself? Hi, Dinesh, can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah, I'm saying when you see, I mean, Rahane scored that defining 100 in Australia. Then he came back and he wasn't scoring regularly. There were a lot of question mark around his his ability to play against spinners. And when such criticism happens against proven players, what do you tell those critics?
Look, I think it's not a question of playing spin or playing pace. I think every team has certain players doing certain roles. There are some who are extremely consistent. For example, there's a Virat Kohli and there's a Pujara who have been extremely consistent over a period of time. And then you get people like Rahane who have been consistent, but at various stages in their career, they haven't been consistent. But what they do is under pressure, when the team is under the pump, in tough conditions, when the ball is moving, when the odds are against them, they always find performances that help the country win. And that is always given a lot of weightage. If you see the knocks that he's played over a period of time, he's played a lot of important knocks at difficult junctures for Indian team, and in most of the cases, the team has gone on to win. So you got to value that a lot more against a few knocks that don't go your way. And I think knowing the Indian team, I think they value those knocks a lot, and that's very important. I think the people who observe cricket are always very fickle-minded. For them, the people sitting out are always better than the ones playing. I've always noticed that. So as players, you don't give that too much importance. A week ago, they keep speaking that he should be the next captain. 1 week later, they should be they kind of putting pressure on him as a batsman. So as people watching the sport, they all have their views, they all have their opinions, and it's constantly oscillating, and it keeps moving from one end of the spectrum to the other. But as a player, what's most important is you look out for your coaching staff and how they are treating you and how you are taken care of in the Indian team, and the kind of value system that they have set for you, and you try and keep achieving that. Even in this test, I think the knock that he played, with Rohit Sharma was a very important knock. I mean, it was a very important partnership. Rohit got going and got 160, but Rahane 60 runs, I think, put up a partnership of a good number, which put India in the driver's seat. So you got to give value to these kind of things on a rank turner, to go out there with your captain and Pujara out, to go out there and play the way you played. You got to give a lot of credit and value to these kind of things, and I think that's what they're doing. As I said, social media and a lot of the people that observe outside constantly focus a lot more on failures than the success, and they, their mood swings keep altering according to whatever the whole world is talking about, probably. So if you start giving importance to that and knowing the Indian players, I don't think they give too much importance to all that in the current social media world. I think what's important is how good you are, and what the team is expecting of you, and how much the captain and the coach and the rest of the support staff back you, and that's very important.
Absolutely. And do you think ping ball is a problem for against? I mean, a quality ping ball attack. Is it a problem for batsmen even now, after it's been around for quite some time? You saw what happened in Adelaide Test match. We are again playing England
I
in
think
Ahmedabad.
I think ping ball is is going to be a very unusual test match, because when we played in Ahmedabad, which we just did in the new ground, there was a lot of dew. So once that kind of dew sets in, I don't think there'll be any sort of movement, from the seam, and it'll be pretty easy for batting. So I think towards the second half of the day, it'll get much easier for batting. When the ball is new, obviously it swings, and the pink ball swings a little more than the normal kookaburra ball. So obviously it'll be a little more challenging for the batsman. But post about 6:30, I think 6:37, the dew comes in, and it should get a lot easier to bat on.
Absolutely. And are you happy the way Rishabh Pant is shaping? I mean, he took a couple of brilliant catches, still dropping few of them. But how is he shaping? I mean, you
Look,
like
I
the way he's
think
running tracks?
I think he's putting a lot of effort into his keeping, and that's always a good sign. I think he's trying to genuinely become a keeper, but he's always going to be a batsman keeper. He's not a keeper batsman. He's always going to contribute a lot more with the bat than than with his gloves. I think he's as he keeps improving, I think he'll go on to become somebody who's very safe and very steady as a keeper over a period of time. But what he will definitely produce in Test cricket is a lot of uncertainty for the opponents in terms of setting fields, and the way he takes on bowlers will put a lot of doubt and will put a lot of pressure on a lot of bowling attacks.
You said it's not a specialist job anymore. Unfortunately, keeping. That's what we get the impression. So when you go out, Dinesh Karthik, when DK goes out, do you call yourself a keeper or a keeper who can bat or a batsman who can keep?
I'm constantly I'm playing a lot of white ball cricket these days, so obviously I'm a batsman keeper, and
Okay.
the name of the game nowadays is to contribute as much as you can with the bat. I try and do the best that I can with the glove. Though I think batting is a primary skill compared to keeping.
And what do you tell Saha, who's done so well? He's technically very sound. You would know more about his technical skills because you have been a keeper at the highest level. So what do you tell
Oh,
a
look,
performer like Saha?
I think without doubt he is the best gloveman in India, and to be fair, I think he's one of the best glovemen in the world itself. There is no doubt about it. He's. I genuinely wish they keep him in the system as a second keeper at least for a long, long time, because they shouldn't give away the second keeper slot. Generally, the tendency is that oh, he's growing a little older, so it's better to give it to somebody else who's young and we can groom him. I really hope that Saha gets his due, and till the time he wishes to play the sport, I think they should definitely hold on to him as a second keeper, because his experience, and to be fair, in most of the cricketing world, he'll be playing as a keeper batsman for sure. It's just unlucky right now in India that he's Rishabh Pant is ahead of him. But every time they go abroad, or even in India for that matter, I think having a person like Saha as your second keeper is going to instill a lot of confidence, knowing that if at all Rishabh pulls up, Saha will be a very, very able replacement. So I don't think I think they should hold on to Saha, and hopefully Saha stays and plays for as long as his body permits.
Is it Saha? Is it the reflex or the leg work or the footwork which makes Saha so special as a wicket keeper?
I think he's a very natural keeper. I think a lot of from the little that I've observed him, keeping comes to him very naturally. He is able to make a lot of tough catches look a lot easier than what it is, and I think that has always been the trait of somebody who's very special. And over a period of time, the little that I've seen Saha is very athletic. He's got great hands, and his ability to take catches and make it look far easier than what it is what sets him apart.
I'm very surprised to see the way Chepauk pitch was. Absolutely, tailor-made for spinners. But I mean, what was your thought? I mean, you like the wicket? I mean, the way it's been.
Look, I don't think it's a question of me liking the wicket. I think uh, whenever you travel outside, you always try and get home conditions. In this case, if you take a stat over a period of time, the number of test matches that I've gotten over in 4 days has been I don't know, the percentage is very high. So here is another test match that's gone on for 4 days. So I don't think anybody should be complaining too much. Yes, probably there's a little bit more turn, but then you can never prepare a perfect turning wicket. There's always going to be some extra turn. If you don't prepare it enough, then it could end up like the first match where it completely is based on the toss. I think in this game, even if India had lost the toss, India would have had a lot of good opportunities even from day one, which is always which is always fair, I feel.
You predicted it would get over within 3 days.
Yes, I predicted that, but Ashwin came and spoiled it, so it's okay.
What a knock, but he got three chances, but the way he continued, despite not getting.
Oh yes, a terrific knock. I think.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, terrific knock. I think the way he showed a lot of intent. He played a lot of shots that he believed in. Knowing him, I think he would have planned his whole inning yesterday evening itself. Sitting and having dinner, he would have thought what all he needs to do, and he came out all guns firing. He exactly knew what he wanted to do to each bowler. He put them under pressure with the shots. You need a bit of luck. He got that. But the most important thing, he batted cleverly once he got set. He never gave it away. He played some good shots. I think he showed a very mature head, and I think he thoroughly deserves. He's put up another fabulous performance.
So far in the series, what really strikes out for me is that spell from Anderson, the way he bowled, and then what we saw was he's not playing the next Test match because of the rotation policy. So I mean, how do you explain that cricket logic? What kind of rotation is this?
Look, I think the England cricket team have obviously taken a very conscious choice to take care of the mental health of players, their bodies, and what you go through in the bubble, etc., is very different to what it used to be. So they're trying to give that extra cushion for every player. Only time will tell whether they're taking the right decision or not. A lot of people will judge them completely on results, but I think England, as a cricketing nation, would like to think that they're a very process-driven nation and they know exactly what they're doing. So, credit to them if they can constantly keep putting up good performances wherever they travel. Why not? I think whatever they do, as I said, they'll be completely judged by the results, and I'm very sure they're aware of it.
We also have a huge talent pool, and we need to rotate our bowlers. How do you think our system, our players take rotation policy?
I think in India, rotation is a very double-edged sword. I think unless and until you are of the quality of a Bumrah or a Rohit Sharma or a Virat Kohli, then it is okay. Sometimes when you get rotated, there have been players who have lost their places, after being rotated. So not everybody would be very, say convinced about rotation, etc. So in India, with the amount of competition, I think rotation is a bit of a double-edged sword for a lot of the cricketers.
And it's really tough when you take a 5 wicket haul and you're warming the bench. But this is how it is. You have a plenty of talent. My colleague Shinja is asking, playing as an opener, you were India's highest run getter during the 2007 away Test series in England. Why didn't team management continue with this plan? So whatever. I mean, that was way back. It's. I mean, you've really traveled a lot, and you've shown so much of dignity as a player. The way you carried yourself, you really. I mean, that's why when I called you that I want to invite you on SK Live. It's a celebration. Really, you mean a lot to Indian cricket.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time, and
Thanks for
I'm
your
really
time.
happy.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm really happy to have been here, and good luck with everything that you do, and hopefully we'll catch up sometime. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. All the best.